Scott, so great to see you. How are you today? You're a busy guy.
Oh, trying to stay busy. Yeah, how are you, Bonnie?
I'm doing very well. Congratulations on this. My God, nonstop action, which you are very used to, my friend. But I want to know when you got this script and you decided to play Sam, how did you get into his mindset? Because here he is, this sniper, but he's got a bit of a conscience, you know?
Yeah, definitely got a conscience. Well, that was interesting. What was interesting about the script, the guy doesn't realize, probably has been lying to himself, like not even wanting to know much of the details of what he's doing, but probably if he stopped to really think about it, but I think he was kind of deluding himself a little bit. But then when he's presented with it in black and white, that maybe he's not as good as he thought he was, or the people he worked for are not the good guys. It's him trying to get out and wrestling with that part of his brain,
Yeah.
and whether he can go through with this anymore, and having a crisis of conscience. So that was interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. And with all your training, your martial arts training, everything, do you have to, even though you're not really sniping anybody, do you have to learn how, because it's such a precision type thing, it's very calm, cool, collected. It's a whole different mindset, I think, than doing the action stuff.
Well, I've done enough action films and enough military based movies to know how to move around with a gun and look
Yes.
like I know what I'm doing. But I've got to tell you something. I went clay pigeon shooting with my wife, and
Okay.
I was like, I've got this. And she was incredible. And I couldn't hit anything because this eye is pretty much, I can't see anything out of it. So, and I'm right-handed. So if I have to like look with this eye, otherwise I can't hit anything. So I'm actually a terrible shot.
Well, see, there you go. You see,
Yeah,
never get too cocky, Scott. I
I
tell
know.
you, right?
Well,
Your
but
wife will
I'm
put you in
pretty
your
good at
place.
pretending.
Yeah, 100%. You got to
Yeah.
pull this off in your movies. The action in that penthouse to me was extraordinary, nonstop. Can you tell me when you take on a film, the choreography has to be so precise, so exact, because I don't even know, like when you're shooting up a set and everything, I mean, you can't replace that 150 times. Can you talk a little bit about that and how precise it is and how exact you have to be in your actions as well?
Well, that's why we shot the film chronologically. From We started the movie in the penthouse suite, and obviously we couldn't blow it up, and then we didn't have the budget to fix it and then film other scenes. So, but we were
Exactly.
able to just shoot it chronologically, so we did, and that helped the actors as well to track how we were going from one emotion to the other. And as far as the fight sequences go, and yeah, it's a precise art, and if you make a mistake, it's dangerous and you can get hurt. But obviously, I've been doing that for a long time, and that's what I'm known for. So that's what it is. But still, you still can have little mistakes and accidents sometimes. So you have to stay present and be very concentrated. I mean, I tell this story sometimes, like when I'm doing a fight scene, I'm very concentrated because you've got to be very precise. But I remember I was
Exactly.
doing Wolverine X-Men Origins, and I was just
Yes.
about to do a fight scene because I was stunt doubling Ryan Reynolds. I was about to do a fight scene with Hugh Jackman and Liev Schreiber. Wolverine and Sabretooth. And just as the camera was rolling up to speed and they were getting the wind tunnel on and everything, I'm looking at Hugh Jackman and he's going, ah, he's getting into character. And then the Sabretooth going, ah. They're both like getting into character. And all I'm thinking is, I'm concentrating on what the moves are, but these guys aren't. They're going to kick the shit out of me in a minute. But yeah, I try to stay very precise and
Yeah.
safe.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because that was a great film, by the way. I loved watching it. Like you said, you have been doing this a long time. You have been training since you were a little boy. So you know what you're doing. But when we saw you in John Wick, my friend, unrecognizable,
Let myself go a bit.
phenomenal. I'm sure you were glad for Take Cover that you didn't have to wear a 100-pound suit on.
I loved it.
Did
I'll
you really?
do every film as that character if I could. I loved him.
I
He
mean,
was
it
my
was a
best
great
mate. I
character.
used to
Don't get
just
me wrong, but come
I used
on,
to
like
talk to myself in the mirror all the time, like, ah, hello, sir, Mr. Killer. Good to see you, huh?
how does that restrict you with what you do, my friend? Because you're adding 100 pounds. How does that change what you do?
It wasn't that bad. It was it was lighter than it looked. I had to sell the weight of it, but by the end of the day, you would feel it in the lower back, and all the weight was on the shoulders with the braces. And then when you was fighting Keanu in the water and everything, it would get a bit heavier. So
Yeah.
yeah, by the end of the day, you're definitely ready to take it off.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, yes, exactly. It would absorb water. That is for sure. What is the hardest training you've ever had to do, or for which film, or what? Like I said, you make it look so easy. Come on, it's not. Don't be so humble. It's not easy.
Oh, the hardest training when it used to train at the MMA gym. Some of
Yeah.
those sessions were brutal. It was the conditioning sessions. But the hardest film I've ever done, um, Ninja One and Ninja Two, for some
Oof.
reason, just the hardest because they had so much action. But sometimes, like I've done these boyka movies and I'm fighting in a ring, so it's padded floor. But the ninja movies was on the concrete and in the street and getting smashed up against different things. And the one shot movies are very difficult because you're doing it all in one continuous take. Not really,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is very long takes, and
Does
you've
your
got to be
wife ever
fast.
try to talk you out of a role? Does she
No,
ever get nervous about this?
no,
She's
she'll just
used to it.
laugh. If I get injured, she'll laugh about it. She's like, Scott, I need a new kitchen. Go and do another movie.
True. Okay, there is a
No, I'm
bright
joking.
side.
I'm joking.
No, I know I'm teasing you, but come on. I mean, it's got to be scary every time you take a script. Do you discuss it with her? I mean, I'm not saying it's her choice. Obviously, it's your choice, and yes, it's your bread and butter, and you are a pro. There's no question. But there's got to be some kind of fear, I would think, attached to every time you take on a film like this.
No, she knows it's safe. I'm not doing like Tom Cruise stunts.
Yeah.
I'm doing things that I might get injured, but nothing really bad
Well,
is going to
good, good.
happen.
I'm
I'll leave that to the real professionals. I'll let them get hit by the cars and fall off the cliffs. I'll just do
yeah.
the gymnastics and the enclosed fighting.
What excited you most about Take Cover? Because, like I said, you're in almost every scene, and I love this character that you're playing because of his moral dilemma.
That's what excited me the most is the transition of the character, and I really enjoyed the buddy aspect with him and Ken and
Yeah,
how they bounced off each other. And I just thought, this script allows me to make a certain level of action film, like with the budget that I'm used to getting. I felt like because of its contained nature,
mm,
was able to do something uh, good here that we can, have enough time to do and enough money to do it right. And I said to the producer, I want you to just blow things up around me. And that end sequence is basically that. On
yeah.
that day, he was like, well, this is what you asked for, Scott. So get in there because we're about to blow the whole thing up and you're going to be in the middle of it. So have fun.
Fun times. Yeah, that drone. Oh man. I mean, there's just so much great stuff in this film. I really, really enjoyed it. Last, I got to know, who is your martial arts hero? Who did you take the most from growing up to try to maybe emulate, or just that you loved so much?
Well, I was a huge fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'd have
Yeah.
made no secret of this. He was a huge influence. When he was at his height, I was in those teenage years, and he was the guy I looked to. But in terms of learning and being inspired, you cannot beat Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
It's not so much just the films he made, the presence he was, the character he was, but his philosophy, his dedication to martial arts, his filmmaking skill, his sheer charisma. He's unbeaten in every realm.
Well, you come pretty close, I have to tell you.
I
You
don't
really,
come anywhere near close to Bruce Lee, but I appreciate you saying that.
well, you do. You've got that charisma. You've got it all, my friend. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. Love this movie, and please just keep bringing us more. This was a good one. Thank you.
I will do, Bonnie. Thanks a lot. I
All right.
really
You're
enjoyed the
very
interview.
welcome. Take care and
Okay.
have a lovely day.
You
And get
too.
that new kitchen for your wife. Okay.
God, I love Canadians. All right. Thanks, Bonnie.
Bye.
See ya.